In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to add and edit music and sound effects in a WeVideo project. So you can see that I have a new empty project. I've added some items to the project bin, but nothing is in the timeline yet. So I'm going to take some images that I found online of Italy, and I'm going to drag them down into the first video track in the timeline. And I want to add music that goes with my theme of Italy. So I'm going to switch windows and go to my favorite free music sharing website, jamendo.com, Jamendo. And I'm going to go to the search field at the top, and I'm going to type in Italian instrumental. And you can see that some artists show up, some songs show up, and some albums show up. Well, I'm just going to click on a few to see what they sound like, or to listen to hear what they sound like. And I'll click on Italian Story. I like that, so I want to download that. So I'm going to come down here to the play bar, and there's a little download icon. I'm going to click on that. I have two choices. I can get the free MP3 version for personal use. That will work just fine. And I have a folder where I've already downloaded some music tracks, but I'm going to add this acoustic guitar Italian Story song. And then I'm going to go to Italian Trip and try this one out. Like that one too, so I'm going to download that one as well by clicking on the download button, go to the MP3 version, and then save that. Okay, and then I'll go back to WeVideo. So I'm going to upload the two songs that I downloaded from Jamendo. And there is one, Italian Trip, and there is the other, Italian Story. And that it will take a few seconds for them to load. You can see there are some little blue lines flashing along the bottom of each track. And once they're fully loaded, they'll appear at the bottom. And there they are, and now I can use them. So I'm just going to drag one down into the audio track. And you'll notice when you drag one, by selecting it, it will start to play. You'll also notice that these three images are 5 seconds each, so a total of 15 seconds of the timeline, and the song is a little over 2 minutes. So if I want to reduce the length of the song, I can come over to the edge and just click and drag it to fill up the same amount of time. So if you have a number of images, you can adjust the amount of time that you want the song to play. And if I click back and then press play, that's pretty loud. It sounds good, but it's pretty loud. And if I have narration and I want this music to just be in the background, I can come over here, and normally it will come in at 100%. I think I was experimenting with the volume control a little earlier, so it was above 100%. So if you want to make a sound file louder than 100%, you can use the slider and pull it to the right. But in this case, I want to make it lower. I'm going to take it down to about 28%, and you'll see that the waveforms, let me demonstrate that again. The higher you go, the larger the waveforms appear. The lower you go, I'll go to 33, that's fine. And then if I play this, you'll notice that the volume is much lower. So that would be good because I don't want background music interfering with the words that I'm speaking in my narration. So the next thing I want to do is I want to come down, and I'm going to bring in another picture. This is a picture of the camera and lens that I use for my nature photography. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a different website, one that we've looked at before, called Pixabay. And we looked at it as a website where you can find and download images and video clips, but also they have sound effects. So I'm going to click on sound effects, and I'm going to type in, I'm going to paste in camera shutter because I tried this earlier and I found that there were some interesting sounds for camera shutters that I might be able to use. And if I click on that, I can hear what they sound like. And so I'm going to decide that I like that, and I'm going to download it by coming over here and clicking on the download button. And I'm going to go to my sound effects folder, and I'm going to save it there. And you can see that a little message pops up that says that you can donate to this artist who created the sound effect. You can say thanks by donating, or you can hire this person to create sound effects for you. But I'm not going to do that right now. Instead, I'm going to go back to WeVideo, and I'm going to add media and upload the sound effect. And it is camera shutter. And again, it takes a few seconds for it to completely get uploaded to the WeVideo server. And when it does, it will appear down at the bottom, and there it is. So now I'm going to drag this down to the timeline, and something interesting happened. I noticed that because I had lowered the volume to 41% on the background music, it also lowers the volume of the sound effect, which I don't want. So what I'm going to do instead is add a new audio track, and I'm going to drag this down into there. And what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to line up these sounds with the images that I'm going to bring in. So these are pictures that I've taken of some birds, and I'm going to drag these down. I did a multiple select, and I'm going to drag these down. And notice what happens. What happens is I get an option here to change the duration of these photos. So instead of appearing for 5 seconds, I'm going to have them just appear for 1 second each. Let me go back and I'll show you that I could also, if I keep it at 5 seconds or even increase it, I can click on the, or actually I think by default this is already checked, apply animation, the Ken Burns effect to all photos, which would allow these photos to be displayed on the screen with pans and zooms. I'm not interested in that for these pictures, so I'm going to click off of that. And like I said, even when I go to 1 second, that's not an option for me at all. So here are those 5 images of bird photos that I took, and they will appear on the screen for 1 second each. And now I want to be able to select maybe this sound effect right here, and I'll play it to let you hear what it sounds like. It sounds like 3 pictures taken at once, which is fine because when I take pictures of birds, I normally take a number of images at the same time. I might also check on this one and hear what this one sounds like. Now that's similar. I'm going to stick with this one. So I'm going to select this, put the playhead right here, click on the split tool, and you see now that my audio sound effects file has been split into 2. I don't really need this one, so I'm going to delete it. And I don't need the rest of this part either, so I'm going to select that, put the playhead where I want the cut to occur, or the split, click split, select that, and then delete that. And now what I want to be able to do is pull this up so I can line these up with each photo, and that's how I want this to play when each photo is being displayed on the screen. Now, I could repeat this process for each remaining image, but instead I'm going to use my keyboard to do Control-C and then Control-V, but I have to put the playhead where I want the V to be. And it says I can't because I didn't leave it enough space. So I'm just going to click indiscriminately over here, and I can rearrange these later. And let's see if I can do one more. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pictures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Need 2 more. There we go. And now what I can do is I can drag each one of these under each picture. And let me check the volume setting. The volume setting here is now at 276%. That's probably more than I need it to be. So you see, because I'm on a separate audio track, I can change the volume here independently of the music volume over here. So let me scroll back and take a look and a listen to what this would look like and sound like. Okay, so that works really well. So this has been a lesson in how to find and add music to a WeVideo project, find and edit a sound effect and add it to your WeVideo project. So these are things that you might find helpful as you're continuing to work on your digital story.